Hello everybody, my name's Robin Harrison. I'm the B2B editor at Clarion Gaming, and I'm here at IGB Live in Amsterdam with Benjamin Truman of Mediatroopers. Welcome, Benjamin.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Benjamin, what do you make of the standard of sports betting products in the US market?
Right now, the standard products in the U.S. market aren't bad. They're not bad. They're getting better, obviously, with innovation. The Americans obviously are a little bit farther behind the Europeans and the rest of the world, but I think with the innovation over time, hopefully they can catch up. But as you see, most of these companies here, most of these B2B companies are moving into the United States with their products, and I think with that, you'll see the Americans hopefully step their game up and do much better.
What sort of improvements are needed if they are to step their game up?
I think overall it's just time, but I would say experience. Most American operators are taking guys from land-based, they're taking guys who haven't been really in the market, and now you're trying to put them onto a product that, maybe they've worked in technology before, but as we all know, this is a completely different realm. So I think you're already seeing the movement of U.S. companies into Europe and vice versa over the Atlantic, and that's really going to help to improve the product. But if you look at the guys who are succeeding at the moment, you look at the MGMs. They partnered with Entain out of the UK. Their product is probably the best at the moment, and that's because they have so many years of experience. But the biggest factor will be getting that experience into the UK or into the US, and the US really kind of innovating as best they can. Or it will just be the Americans buying European companies, which we're seeing as well. Obviously, IGT just bought a company yesterday. And you'll either see that or you'll see the innovation start to grow.
And we're also seeing a lot of US operators shift their strategy from spending heavily in customer acquisition to looking to actually generate some profits from all this activity. So what have been the consequences of this change?
I think the consequences are being felt more offline at the moment. Not really with performance marketing. Everybody's moving in that direction. I think you can expect that, as this happens more and more, the second tier US sports leagues will struggle to get those sponsorships. Obviously companies will still sponsor with the big four, the NFL, NBA, NHL, hockey, baseball. You'll see some guys move into MLS. But what you won't see is the second tier leagues, the smaller leagues, or even athletes. You look at certain companies like WinBet. They spent, $250 million to Shaquille O'Neal and Ben Affleck, and it didn't really work out too well for them. And I think you're starting to see that. MGM obviously has Jamie Foxx, Kevin Garnett, but a lot of the second tier leagues, so your NASCAR, your Formula One in the US, maybe your second league soccer, or the WNBA, these guys are going to be really feeling it because the money's just not there. It's going to dry up. And on the operator side, they're moving more to performance. What I wouldn't be surprised to see is more people move to a rev share model in the future, but I think we're probably a couple years away. UK did it years ago. This is kind of the way the market's shifting. You'll have performance marketing first, but the CPAs, and then they'll shift to more of a rev share over time. But the guys who will feel it the most will be these athletes, will be the second tier leagues. It won't be the NBA, NHL, NFL. They'll still get their money.
Very interesting, thank you. And finally, what can US operators do to keep players engaged as heavy bonusing stops?
I think this goes back to your first questions with product. Right now the product in the United States is considerably worse than it is in the UK and Europe. They're not customer focused. They don't, you're looking at your UX UI, it's still subpar in comparison to what you have in Europe and other parts of the world. They're gonna have to get better on the product, the customer retention, the customer life cycle. It's key. They're gonna have to understand that part of the business. Until they improve their products, until they do a better job with these things, there's not much that they can do. Obviously, they'll try to drive land-based players online and vice versa. But they really got to improve the product. They have to improve that user experience. Until they do that, it's going to be heavy bonus seekers, people looking, bonus hunters looking around for better offers. Once they get a better product and customer lifecycle and journey, I think that's where they're really going to have to improve to get rid of these high bonuses that, wow, they're crazy. $5,000 up to $5,000 for free bets and things like this. So it comes down to product.
Benjamin, thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it.